Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Fist of Fate gloves. The new Fist of Fate gloves are pretty crazy, and even the developers kind of made that weird chuckle, like when they were like, yeah, they might be a little overpowered. And they're not exactly wrong, because the new Fist of Fate gloves are pretty crazy. Now, the Fist of Fate gloves do have really big variances, though, and as we go over them today, I think you're going to find that out. So first off, they can go between 0.1 to 8.7% increased attack speed, which obviously, if you got 0.1, that would be very terrible. They go from 0.1 to 8.7% critical strike chance. Again, a very large variance, but if you found a really nice pair of these, could be interesting. They also have 1% to 51.8% lucky hit bonus, which is massive of a lucky hit chance. And if you get a greater affix roll, it's like 75%, by the way. I've seen it. On top of this, they also have a lucky hit up to a 1 to 51.8% chance to apply a random crowd control effect for 2 seconds. So random crowd control effects can be anything. In fact, if we go into the stats and materials page and we pull up the crowd control damage, which is... Where's my crowd control damage? I don't have any crowd control damage on this character. I guess not. Do I have crowd control damage on some of these? I don't even know. I got so many items in my inventory here. Got overpower. So basically, if you have crowd control damage, you can actually pull it up and you can look at it and you can see what crowd control damage does, basically. It shows you all of the different crowd controls that potentially could be applied to a target. Now, because there's so many different crowd control effects, I'm not entirely sure if, like, that crowd control bonus itself, or the actual crowd control effects that it's going to be applying are really all that crazy. I was looking to see if I had anything with crowd control damage on it, but I guess I don't. I haven't got any crowd control damage. All the Basilisk does, but I can't put it on. Of course. Of course. I got so many items in here. That one doesn't have it either. None of these guys got crowd control damage. But basically what this means is it's going to apply a various crowd control based effect. And then there's tons of crowd control based effects within the game, though. There's slows, there's chills, there's freezes, there's knockdowns, knockbacks, there's stuns, there's dazes, the list is just ridiculous. There's tethers, and basically all these different crowd control effects could just have like a pretty high % chance of just simply hitting the target for 2 seconds. And obviously, if you have the 51.8% lucky hit chance combined with the 51.8% lucky hit chance to apply that crowd control effect, you're going to be applying a lot of crowd control effects at a very fast rate. In fact, that lucky hit % bonus, if you have a really nice one, like for instance, I have a 26.8% chance here, actually does increase your lucky hit pretty tremendously. And you can usually see this on the tooltip, but it doesn't show everything on the tooltip, so do keep that in mind. Some things that are conditional don't show up. But as you can see, I currently have a 29% lucky hit chance, and I throw these on, and my lucky hit chance goes to a 35% chance, because that's a 26.8% chance bonus. Of course, it goes a hell of a lot higher than 26.8% chance, so do keep that in mind. In fact, I would imagine that at this point, a quadruple greater affix Fist of Fate might actually be worth literally real money. On top of this, it also has the multiplier bonus in here, so your attacks randomly deal 1% to 300% of their normal damage, which if you actually add this together and you average it out, you'll get an interesting percentage. So for instance, if you can do 1% damage and you can also do 300% damage, you add those together to get 301 and divide by 2, and you basically get an average damage increase of 150 to 0.5, which the 1 doesn't matter, of course. So basically think about them as a 50 times multiplier. Because 50, basically the average damage bonus that you're going to get across the board is about 50 times. However, occasionally you're going to deal no damage at that 1%, and occasionally you're going to deal 300% damage at the maximum end of things. Although more often you're probably going to be somewhere in the middle, and it's just going to be doing regular amounts of damage. The real crazy thing, though, is that if you did have like a 4 greater affix version of this, the attack speed, the critical strike chance, the lucky hit bonus, and the chance to apply crowd control, I think probably make these best in slot for a lot of freaking builds. And the 300% bonus damage certainly isn't terrible either. The greater the flavor text on these is: will you let fear cheat you, or will you risk everything to find understanding? After all, death is simply the coin with which we purchase life. Now, when you put these on and you actually attack with them, you're going to notice that, like, sometimes your attacks just don't do any damage. Like, I mean, just taking a look at my numbers here, you can see sometimes my numbers will do significantly high amounts, like I got a couple millions there, and then sometimes they do relatively low amounts, like, you know, just a couple hundred damage. And essentially, you're just rolling the numbers here. I mean, you're going to have some really high damage hits, and you're also going to have some really low damage hits while wearing the Fist of Fate. If you're doing a lucky hit build, though, I think the Fist of Fate might actually just be best in slot no matter what, because if you did find a greater affix lucky hit chance, it's about 75% lucky hit chance without any greater affix rolls. And if you obviously get the greater affix rolls on there, move your masterworking it, so you get the masterworking 25% bonuses, it just goes up even higher. It's just insane. I've already seen some very insane Fists of Fates this season. I haven't been using them myself on the builds that I've currently been running, but I do plan on doing some lucky hit builds, so they may be working their way in, you know what I mean? Where do you find these particular gloves? So maybe you came here just for an understanding of where you find them. Well, if you take a look at Diablo 4.life, we do have a tool on here. It's the unique target farming tool, which will tell you where you can get these. So if you go ahead and pop in here and you go to the Fist of Fate, you'll see Fist of Fate drop from the Beast in the Ice. So you want to farm the Beast in the Ice for these. Also, you can potentially gamble these now, and we also have a gambling calculator on here as well. And if you put in the Fist of Fate on here for that, you'll see that the best person to gamble these on is going to be Druid and Rogue, because they have the least number of competing gloves for the unique gloves. So very interesting. And you can use these tools to your best disposal. There's also an aspect gambling tool in here, which has also been refined tremendously from the previous versions. Hey, look, there's my old video. And quite honestly, the gambling tools are amazing. You should definitely check them out, because it's going to make it a hell of a lot easier for you to gamble specific aspects. Like, for instance, let's say you wanted to get your hands on the Hectic aspect. It's going to tell you that the boots on the Barbarian and Druid is your best bet for gambling this aspect, because they have the least number of competing aspects in that slot. So you're going to be really likely to get them on that particular character. I think that's pretty much it for the Fists of Fate. You know what? I would love to see some screenshots of some truly epic Fists of Fates. So I'm going to put this out there. My email is gingergamingmentor@gmail.com. Feel free to send me some emails or post them on the Discord. Type it, I got the Discord linked in pretty much all my videos. And you can post them in the Discord. I'd love to see your absolutely epic Fists of Fate, because I do think that these are going to be one of those gloves that they're just going to be so good if you manage to get the right rolls on them. And I can't wait to see like some really amazing Fists of Fate, to be perfectly honest. As always, I'd appreciate you guys and gals joining me. Be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. It really helps out the channel. And as always, keep watching.